What's your level of English? Let's find out together. The story will get harder and harder as we read it. When you find it hard to understand the text, it means that your level of English is the previous one. Let's go. Tell us in the comments what your level is.
Chapter 1. The Chase. Level A1. Lila ran down the street. She was scared. Someone was following her. She looked back and saw a man. He was close. "Stop!" the man shouted, but Lila didn't stop. She ran faster. Her heart was beating very fast. Lila saw a car at the end of the street. Jonah was in the car. "Jonah!" she called. "Help me!" Jonah saw Lila and opened the car door. Lila jumped in and Jonah started the car. They drove away quickly. "Are you okay?" Jonah asked. "Yes, but that man, he was following me," Lila said. She was still scared. Jonah looked at her and said, "You are safe now." They drove out of the town. The road was long and empty. Lila looked out the window. She was thinking about the man. "Who was he?" she asked. "We can't stay here. We need to keep moving," Jonah said. Lila nodded. She knew Jonah was right. They couldn't stop now. They had to keep going. The road was dark and the night was quiet. Lila felt a little better now. She knew Jonah would protect her. But she also knew the danger was not over. They had to be careful. They had to stay together, and they had to keep running. Chapter 2. The Motel. Level A2. Lila and Jonah parked in front of a motel. Jonah took the key and they went to the room. It was small, with a bed, a chair, and a TV. The walls were painted yellow. Lila sat on the bed and sighed. "I'm so tired," she said. "Me too," Jonah replied. He looked out the window. The parking lot was empty. "I think we're safe here," he said. Lila nodded. "I hope so," she said softly. Jonah sat next to her on the bed. "We need to rest," he said. "Tomorrow, we'll plan our next move." In the middle of the night, Lila woke up. She heard a noise outside. It sounded like footsteps. She sat up and listened. "Jonah," she whispered, shaking him awake. "Someone's outside." Jonah got up quickly. He went to the window and looked out. There was a man standing by their car looking inside. "It's him," Jonah said quietly. "He found us." Lila's heart started to race. "What do we do?" she asked, her voice shaking. "Stay here," Jonah said. "Lock the door behind me." "No!" Lila grabbed his arm. "Don't go out there." "I have to," Jonah said. "We can't let him catch us." Lila didn't want to let him go, but she knew Jonah was right. She nodded and locked the door after he left. Jonah walked outside, trying to be quiet. The man didn't see him at first. Jonah picked up a rock from the ground and threw it. The rock hit the man's car and he turned around. "What do you want?" Jonah asked, stepping into the light. The man smiled. "I want you to come with me," he said. "Both of you." "Why?" Jonah asked. The man didn't answer. Instead, he pulled out a knife. Jonah's eyes narrowed. "You're not taking us anywhere," he said. The man moved closer, but Jonah was ready. He grabbed the man's arm and tried to take the knife. They struggled, both of them fighting hard. Inside, Lila was scared. She heard the noise and knew Jonah was in trouble. She didn't want to wait anymore. She grabbed a heavy lamp from the table and ran outside. When Lila saw them fighting, she ran up behind the man and hit him with the lamp. The man fell to the ground. Jonah looked at Lila, breathing hard. "You saved me," he said. "We need to leave," Lila said, still holding the lamp. Jonah nodded. They quickly got in the car and drove away. The motel disappeared behind them as they sped down the road.
English courses, famous audiobooks for all levels, word games, and rating charts to keep you motivated. All in one place, the Iowa app. Don't just learn English, enjoy it. Try appiwa.com now.
Chapter 3. On the Run. Level B1. Lila and Jonah didn't stop driving until the sun was high in the sky. The road was empty, stretching out endlessly in front of them. Lila felt like they had been running forever. "Where are we going now?" she asked, her voice tired. "I don't know," Jonah admitted, "but we can't stay in one place for too long. They'll keep looking for us." Lila looked out the window at the barren landscape. She knew Jonah was right, but the thought of never stopping, never feeling safe, weighed heavily on her. "I'm scared," she confessed, her voice small. Jonah reached over and took her hand, squeezing it gently. "I know, but we're in this together. We'll figure it out." They drove for hours, passing small towns and empty fields. Finally, they saw a gas station up ahead. The car was low on fuel, and they needed supplies. "We'll stop here," Jonah said, pulling into the station. "We need to be quick." Lila nodded and got out of the car. The station was old, with peeling paint and dusty windows. An older man was behind the counter, reading a newspaper. "Morning," Jonah said, trying to sound casual as he filled the tank. The man looked up and nodded. "Morning. Where are you two headed?" "Just passing through," Jonah replied, avoiding eye contact. Lila went inside to grab some snacks and drinks. She moved quickly, feeling like the man's eyes were following her every move. She paid for the items and hurried back to the car. As they were about to leave, the man stepped outside. "You folks be careful now," he said. "There's been some trouble around here. Some people are looking for a couple that fits your description." Lila froze, her heart pounding. Jonah stayed calm, giving the man a polite nod. "Thanks for the warning. We'll be on our way." Hours later, they finally stopped by a small riverbank hidden from the road by tall trees. It was peaceful, the sound of the water soothing their nerves. "We'll rest here for a while," Jonah said, getting out of the car. He walked down to the river, crouching by the water's edge. Lila followed him, sitting down beside him. "What do we do next?" she asked quietly. Jonah looked at her, his eyes serious. "We keep moving. We don't stop until we're somewhere they can't find us." Lila sighed, feeling the weight of his words. "And if they catch us?" "They won't," Jonah said firmly. "We'll stay ahead of them. We have to." Lila wanted to believe him, but the doubt lingered in her mind. She leaned against him, finding comfort in his presence. "I'm glad I'm with you," she said softly. Jonah put his arm around her, holding her close. "I wouldn't want to be anywhere else," he said. Chapter 4: A New Beginning. Level B2. The desert was still as they drove through the night, with stars shining above them like distant signs of hope. Lila rested her head against the window, feeling exhausted, but sleep wouldn't come. Her mind was too occupied with everything that had happened and the dangers that seemed to follow them wherever they went. "Where are we going?" she asked quietly, breaking the silence. Jonah glanced at her, his expression hard to read in the dim light. Somewhere safe. Lila wanted to believe him, to trust that there was a place where the past wouldn't catch up with them. But deep inside, she knew they were running out of time. The road they were on was one from which there was no turning back, and they both understood that. As the first light of dawn began to appear on the horizon, Jonah stopped the car by the side of the road. They were miles away from the nearest town, with the desert stretching out around them like a vast, empty space. "Why are we stopping?" Lila asked, frowning as Jonah got out of the car. He didn't reply, just walked around to her side and opened the door. "Come on, I want to show you something." Curious, Lila got out and followed him up a small hill. They stood at the top, the cool morning air brushing against their skin as they looked out over the desert. The sun was just starting to rise, painting the landscape in a warm, golden light. "It's beautiful," Lila whispered, her breath catching in her throat. Jonah nodded, his eyes fixed on the horizon. This is what it's all about, Lila. The open road, the freedom to go wherever we want, to be whoever we want. It's risky, sure, but it's worth it." Lila looked at him, seeing the passion in his eyes, the same passion that had drawn her to him in the first place. She knew then that no matter what happened, she wouldn't regret a single moment of this journey. Because in Jonah, she had found someone who understood her, someone who made her feel alive like never before. "Whatever comes next," she said, taking his hand, "we'll face it together." Jonah squeezed her hand, his grip warm and comforting. Together. They stood there for a long time, watching as the sun rose higher, lighting up the desert. The road stretched out before them, endless and uncertain, but full of possibilities. And so, hand in hand, they walked back to the car, ready to face whatever the open road had in store for them. Epilogue. The odyssey persists. Level C1. The car hurtled down the desolate highway, the remnants of their past dissolving into the swirling vortex of dust left in their wake. With the windows flung open, the wind howled through the vehicle, weaving itself into the strands of Lila and Jonah's hair as their laughter echoed into the vast expanse. The anticipation of the unknown unfurled before them, a tantalizing and relentless promise of what was yet to come. They were outlaws, perhaps, fugitives from a world that could no longer contain them, but they were unshackled, liberated by the very dangers that pursued them, and as long as they stood together, side by side, they believed they could weather any storm that fate might cast their way. Ultimately, it was never the destination that held significance. It was the odyssey itself, the fierce, untamed journey that had intertwined their fates, and the infinite horizon that persistently whispered their names, urging them forward into the abyss of possibilities. Thus, they would keep driving, propelled by the unyielding certainty that as long as there was pavement beneath their tires and a limitless sky above, their course was set. For the open road was their dominion, a realm where they would always find solace, no matter where it led them. So, what's your level? Tell us in the comments.
Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more free audiobooks like this. And now, take another English level test.